Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to be here with you. And like every day, I say this every day. I just love getting on here and being able to connect with people and being able to encourage other moms. And so today I want to talk about intentional parenting. And there's a reason I'm going to tell you why at the end of the video, why this is on my mind today, why this is something that I have chosen to speak about. So I chose one of the reasons that I chose to speak about intentional parenting, that's just been on my heart, is that life is busy, right? I'm a mom of 6. My life is very, very busy. And there's just always something to do. It feels like I'm always just running behind on something, and that's just reality. Even, even though I've come a long way in not getting behind on things, that's still just, there's always something. But there is a method to my madness. And I want to say that, oftentimes when we're so busy, we get a sense of guilt because whether we're busy intentionally or life has just happened to us, we get a sense of guilt because we feel like we have dropped the ball for our kids. When we're not showing up for our kids as that intentional mom because we're just, our schedule is running us. And it can be hard to get off that hamster wheel, to be quite honest. And then we feel guilt, we feel ashamed, we feel stressed because hello, we are living in 2022, we're living in a global pandemic, we are working very hard as moms, we are juggling all the plates, and something's bound to fall, and it's stressful. It's very stressful, and stress can make us angry, and then we end up snapping at our kids when they need something. Has anyone ever been there? Is this familiar? Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. And then you feel awful all over again because your kids are your heart. All the busy things, all the things that you do that you have to do, the laundry, the dishes, the shuttling here and there and everywhere, your job, whatever things that you have going on, those are important things, but that's not your heart. That's not what keeps your heart beating. It's your kids. Everything you do is for them and it's for your family. And so then when you show up as less than the mom that you envision yourself being, that just makes you feel worse all over again. That just compounds that mom guilt. And it's a vicious cycle. It's really hard to get off of that. But I want to talk about 2 things that can help us to be intentional, even with life not slowing down. Even with things being busy, these 2 practices have really helped me as a mom of 6 who works full time, has a side hustle. These practices have really helped me to feel less guilt and to show up more intentionally for every one of my kids. Okay, so the first thing is having a mindfulness practice. By mindfulness practice, I mean something that keeps me grounded, something that helps me to process my own big emotions, something that helps me to deal with my stress. We all need something like that. And for me, that mindfulness practice that I do 7 days a week is meditation. And I know you're probably going to say, Jordan, you have 6 small children. How in the world do you find time to meditate? The only way I can do it consistently every day is to do it in the morning before they get up or in the evening right before bed after they're already in bed. Usually it tends to be in the evening, but sometimes I can get it in the morning. Sometimes I can do morning and evening because usually I'm only meditating for about 10 minutes at a time. But this has been, and it doesn't have to be meditation. It can be journaling. It can be just deep breathing if you're not able to meditate. It can be using essential oils while you are doing your mindfulness practice. That's huge. That can really accelerate your results. And there's lots of, even doing dancing, there's lots of different, like doing Zumba or something, giving yourself a dance break. There's lots of different ways that you can release stress and become more grounded. But meditation is one that I can highly recommend because it's literally changed my life. Practicing meditation has helped me to level up everywhere across the board. But when we have a mindfulness practice, it helps us to regulate our nervous system. And then we're not in reactive mode with our kids. That's something that I talked about on my video yesterday, was when we're parenting from a place of trauma or when we're operating from a place of trauma. And even if trauma is not an issue, stress still is an issue for all of us. I can say that with full confidence that we all struggle with stress. And it is something that we can deal with. And it doesn't take a miracle to deal with it. It doesn't take all day to have to deal with it. You can just build this mindfulness practice into your day. And it's important to do it every day because I think that has a cumulative effect across our lives. The next thing that is going to be a lifesaver for you and has been for me in being an intentional mom, even when you're busy, is having a consistent daily routine. Now, when I say consistent, you're going to say, whoa, Jordan, consistent how much? Because there's things that come up, there's things that throw me off. It's inevitable. I know that. But by when I say consistent, I mean 80% of the time. 80% of the time you're sticking to this routine. For me, we have a Saturday routine. We have a Saturday schedule and a Sunday schedule because those are the days that I'm at home with my kids. But throughout the week, we have an after school schedule and we have morning routines. That has saved my life. My kids go to bed and I go to bed at the same time every night. And on Saturdays, I have a schedule posted on our refrigerator. And if you're interested, I'd love to share that with you sometime. We're still kind of tweaking that schedule that we use on Saturdays and times that we're not at school. But the point is, having a schedule is going to save your life. And how does that help you become more intentional? First of all, it's going to calm your kids down. Your kids crave consistency. Your kids crave routine. And your kids might complain a little bit when you start implementing a schedule. But in the end, once it becomes normal, that you will notice a change in their demeanor and their behavior. And they will be happier. And you will be happier. And the way that you can become intentional is this helps you become an intentional parent, is I want you to think about practices specifically pertaining to parenting that are important to you. For me, it is story time, and and this is something that I build into our bedtime routine. I want to impart a love of reading to my children. There's so many books that I want to read to my children, and reading the Bible to my children. And this is something that we do at bedtime. When everyone's ready for bed, we all pile up in one bed, and I read a story to my kids, and then I sing a song to my kids, and then I pray with my kids, and we have a little conversation before they go to bed. Not very long, because we're all tired and I'm ready for them to wind down and go to bed. But that's something that's important to me. And so it's built into our schedule. I don't have to decide, well, when am I going to read a story to them today? We already have our story time in our schedule. It is literally written on the schedule that is on the refrigerator. That's one example. Maybe spending one-on-one time with each of your kids. And that's something else that's important to me, is having one-on-one time with each of my kids. I can't do one-on-one time with each kid every single day, but I can build it in throughout the week so that every kid gets one-on-one time with me throughout the week. And, I can have on my schedule one-on-one time with kids after school. And each kid has a different day of the week that they spend 30 minutes with me, and I'll let them pick what we're going to do. If that's important to you, that's an example of being intentional and building that into your schedule. Now, speaking of intentional parenting while you are a busy, busy, busy mom, because is there any other kind of mom? Hello, we are all busy. Okay. My friend Kate Penhorn Thompson tonight is doing a live training in my group, in my private group, Survival Mode to Successful Mompreneurs of Little Kids Creating Momentum. Now, let me give you a little bio about Kate. Kate is 71 years old. She is a mom of 12 children. She's from Australia, but she lives in Atlanta now. And all of her kids have special needs. She has 4 biological children and 8 adopted children. All of them have special needs, and she and her husband also fostered over 50 children, and they have a wealth of knowledge and on what it means, on how to stay sane, on how to stay afloat, on how to thrive in a season where you are just pulled so thin, stretched so thin. And because she's done it, and she's doing it now, as she's raised all of her children into adulthood. Kate's also a life coach, a money coach, a business coach, and a health coach. And she's also a published author. So I can't wait for Kate to do this training with us tonight on being an intentional mom, being intentional parenting for busy moms. That's what our training is called. So if you are not a member of this group, I encourage you to come on over there and join today so that you can catch that training, because it's only going to be available in my group. And I will see you tomorrow.